Well, hey guys, hey, and welcome to another vlog. This has a potential to be either a very long vlog or a very short vlog, or maybe even a vlog that won't even end up going up, depending on if I get interrupted before I feel like I'm done speaking. This has been a very tough vlog to sit down and do. I've been wanting to do it for a couple of days. The problem is, whenever I get into the mood to talk about certain things, it seems like I'm always never here. I'm at work, I'm on my way to work. It's unbelievable how often I will want to speak my mind about things, important things, personal things, at times when I don't have that opportunity to do it, at least not in front of the camera and for a YouTube vlog. Like I said, on the way to work, I constantly will be thinking about things. I guess it's like a last-minute brain purge to get ready to like void myself in terms of dropping into work and just concentrating on that. Or when I'm in the shower, because it's one of those places where I can't go anywhere else. I have to get in the shower and take care of that bit of business, and so then my mind will start thinking about things because I can't distract it from the things that are taking place up there. That's why once I get home from work, I got all this shit back here that distracts me. The computer distracts me, playing games, watching movies, watching YouTube videos, even some of the other videos that I do, like the collection videos, the gaming videos. They can be distractions. Even right now, I'm distracting myself from the point of this vlog. The other day, I was kind of in a funk. There's not a lot of times when I'm not in some sort of funk. But the other day, I was really kind of feeling down and feeling like shit about stuff, and I wanted to do a vlog, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to sit here. If it's an hour-long vlog, that's the way it's going to be. I'm just going to sit here and talk. Like I said, I don't know that this is going to be an hour-long vlog. I put the phone in the other room, so hopefully I wouldn't be disturbed by it. The only other thing that could distract me right now is if my ex-wife shows up with my daughter without calling and letting me know ahead of time that they don't have something else going on. Well, anyway, I'm still stalling here as to what I wanted to talk about. So, this is going to be a vlog about a lot of different things, and some of this may encroach on what people would call TMI, or too much information, but I'm going to go there. So if you don't want to feel uncomfortable or be like, oh my god, he just said that, you might want to just click off the video at this point, because I want to talk about some things that, well, they would just fit in that category. And some people would be like, ugh, I wouldn't be talking about that to the entire internet world, but I really don't care. I don't have anybody else to talk to in a lot of ways. And I know there's going to be some people who watch this who are going to be like, hey man, you can talk to me. But hopefully they understand at this point what I've been saying for a long time. Talking to people directly is not the answer for me. There's too much, oh, well, you want to give some information about yourself? Well, I want to tell you about some things that are on my mind. And I never really feel complete, and I never feel satisfied that I got my side of things out when I'm having a conversation with other people. This is better for me. And then I can sit back, and if people want to make comments or whatever, if friends who watch this want to talk to me personally, it's better because I got everything out there on the table. I mean, basically I'm just saying, hey, to a couple select handful of you, it's nothing personal, but I need to do this sometimes. Every once in a while, I just need to get it all out without interruption and without somebody giving their 2 cents. But anyway, so the first thing I wanted to talk about is probably the one thing that seems to be the most prevalent for me right now, and that's money. And I know, who doesn't have money problems? We all do, to some extent. The people who are watching this probably have financial issues of some sort. I can't imagine a lot of rich people out there that just sit around and watch random people's vlogs and all that crap. But, I have a lot of monetary issues. I have been going through a lot of stuff, and a lot of it is my own fault. I mean, it's all my own fault. I mean, it's never anybody else's fault. If you have money, if you have a job, if you have responsibilities, and then you have things you like to buy and things that you like to do, it's up to you and only you to take care of those things. But I have been like the definition of broke. I know a lot of people who will say, "Yeah, I'm broke. I don't have money." But in reality, they'll have a savings account. No matter what's in it, they'll have something there. They'll have a certain amount of money in the bank account that is available, for what's needed right then and there. Maybe they even have, I don't remember who it was, but I remember somebody, a friend or a family member at some point in the last 15 or 20 years who was like, "I always have $500 in the bank." And I literally do my checkbook where that $500 is not written in there. Let's say right now I have $700 in the bank, so my checkbook says I have $200, and that's what I live off of. That's what is used for right now. If an emergency comes up, that money's there, but this keeps me from just being like, "Oh, I have $500, well, let's do this and let's do that." Suddenly I only have $200 legitimately in the bank. But coming up to the last paycheck, which was last Thursday, I had a negative balance in the bank. I had bills that were needing to be paid. I have a few bills right now that are already in that overdue stage. Most of the time in the last year or so, all of my bills have been a month, sometimes even 2 months overdue. It's very rare that I ever have everything paid up across the board. I've been having to split my rent payment up. Now, I pay rent at the beginning of the month. It used to be that last paycheck before then would pay that, plus my child support payment. Now I'm having to split things up between different paychecks because I can't afford to have a couple of $100 come out of my paycheck all at once. I mean, I'm the definition of living paycheck to paycheck. I have no savings, no credit cards, shit credit. I don't have I don't have a lot of financial help out there. My dad has helped me to every extent that he can, and to the point where he just doesn't really have that money. There's just no backup. There's nothing like that. I can't contemplate selling stuff that you see behind me, even though I feel grossly guilty for buying so many movies and video games. And then, like I said before, it's my fault that I'm in this position. That's part of it back there. But to think that selling some of that stuff back there would bail me out, it wouldn't. When you're broke and bills are looming and you're just barely eking by, you can't go sell something for $100 or even $200 and solve all your problems. It would help. It would stop the bleeding for a few minutes, but it's not the cure. And there's no way in the world I could sell everything that I have in one shot and have a big pile of cash sitting in front of me. It's just not the way that it works. If anybody out there who watches my videos for the collecting part of it can probably attest to, unless you're just loaded with a bunch of rare items, which I'm not, you can't make a whole lot of money. Most people who do the collecting thing, even some of the people I subscribe to and watch, they will buy extra games that they can then trade for other games that they need. But it's not like any of us are rolling around in massive amounts of dough. I know there's a few people out there that are. I'm not saying that they watch my stuff. I'm just saying I know some people in the collecting area from forums and whatnot that spend a lot of money and have cars and nice houses and all that. These are people who are not fuck-ups like me. They know how to manage their money. They have good jobs. They have aspirations and ambitions, none of which are things that describe me in any way, shape, or form. But I'm at a point right now where me and all of my wonderful stuff back there could be out on the street in a month or two. My landlady's probably not that hard ass, but I don't ever want to like shake her trust in me as a renter. But I'm in bad spots, man. It's dire for me at times. I'm getting down to the point where I'm literally going to be eating canned food and ramen noodles, and that's the kind of environment that not only am I going to be living in, my daughter will have to come to. I'm going to be wondering if utilities are going to start getting shut off. And tell me if this makes any sense, but when you can't pay a bill and a place shuts you off, they then charge you more money to get it restarted. Because obviously I had loads of money in the first place, and that's why I let it get so bad that stuff got shut off. It doesn't make any sense to me, like so many other things in the world that have to do with money. So that's my living situation right now. And yet even with all that, I get paid and I'm like, oh, there's a movie, I need to buy that. Oh, it's only $12, it's just $12. It's fucking stupid is what it is. I can't stop. I can't seem to make myself stop. I can't seem to make myself be satisfied with what I have. I have so many things to watch and play. It could last me for I don't know how long. Months, years. But the problem is, and this kind of segues into one of the other things I wanted to talk about in this vlog. A lot of my reasoning in here for spending lots of money on games and playing games and wanting to have the next thing and the next thing and here's a new movie, here's a new game, gotta have it. It's for that moment of happiness that it gives me, despite all the baggage that comes with it. It's that moment of happiness that gives me that basically is a substitute for the kind of happiness that most people have through hanging out with friends or a significant other, for having real ambitions and things in life that they want to do, more productive and creative hobbies than just sitting around on your butt playing games or whatnot. I'm substituting for the things in life that I would really like to have, or at least I feel like if I was a normal person I would have them. And I'm trying my best to substitute them by the little spurts of happiness I get with this stuff behind me. I think I've already said this in videos before, and I've told other people about this, but it's my addiction. It's like a drug. Some people drink or take drugs to get high, to get distracted and pulled away from all reality, and I do it somehow or another with video games, movies, and all this other stuff that I have, as you can see. Every time I buy something, even though there's that nagging guilt in the back, that you know, my subconscious or my self-conscious saying, hey dude, can you really afford that? You know, what about the bills? What if the truck breaks down? You know, how are you going to feed yourself and your kid when she's over here? I'll figure out a way. I gotta buy this movie that will then go on the shelf and not be watched for months, if not years. By the time I do watch or play a lot of the stuff that I own, the stuff has come down in price. It's just a vicious cycle. And I really, really, really wish I could get out of it somehow. And this is where I run into the wall, so to speak. Because part of me says, geez, what if I had somebody in my life? This whole relationship thing is such a struggle for me, and it has been since day one. And yet, should I try to do this while I have so many issues of my own? Am I going to bring someone else down with me? Or is it going to help to bring me up and out of all this? Some people would say, dude, you got to get your shit together before you think about tangling somebody else up in your life. But I think to myself, I don't know that I can find something else valuable enough in this world to get me out of this if I don't have somebody else in my life. It's a very important thing to me. I can't really make this point probably very well. But it's very, very, very important to me to not just... I'm nothing right now. I'm just... Yeah, I'm a dad. Yeah, I'm a person. I got friends, people who care about me and love me, people I care about and love. But I really just feel like I'm nothing right now. Like there's just nothing to me. There's nothing going on with me. I have no passions for anything. And I want to pour those passions that I could have, hopefully will have, into a relationship, into building something with someone else. Because God damn it, I don't want to just come home to this every day and this be all that I have to look forward to. I want to share this. I want to share what makes me, me, whatever the fuck that is, with someone else. But relationships are a very tough thing for me. I've only had one in my entire life. I'll be 40 later this year. And yes, I was married. I was married for 8 years. I was with that person for 10 years. We have a child together. She was the only person I've ever been with. The only relationship, the only person I've ever dated, the only person anything. That, well, I mentioned earlier before about the TMI thing. So this is one of those moments. When you've only had one relationship, when you've only dated one person, when you were married to them and had kids, and you're trying to say, this is the only person I've ever done anything with, that means it's the only person I've ever had sex with. It's the only person that I've ever been intimate with. At almost 40 years old, and I've been divorced now for 4 years, that means it's been more than 4 years since the last time I had sex. Okay, so there's another dynamic to what's going on here right now, and I'm not afraid to admit that. I have urges and needs, and I'm tired of fulfilling them on my own. I want to be a normal person. I want to be a normal guy who wants to have a relationship with somebody and cover all the perspectives that are encased with that. I'm tired of being the lone wolf guy. I'm tired of being the lonely guy. I'm tired of being the depressed and you know, sad and just desperate guy that I've really become. I spend so much time judging myself. The social anxiety disorder, it's one of the things that happens. I'm constantly thinking that every person that I see is judging me about something. It's why I wear the hat normally. I came into this vlog without my security blanket, which is my hat, to cover up my bald head, because I judge myself for being bald. I judge myself for being my age, my weight, my looks, a lot of things that I don't have much control over. I could lose the weight, and I have, but I lost the weight because I had strong motivating factors. Now I'm just me. I'm just another guy out there in a sea of people. I'm a nobody. I'm a part of the scenery. I don't see a point in trying, and I can't see it without imagining having someone in my life again. But what's really tough about that, on top of all the other things, and perhaps it's just another one of my own mind jobs, that I'm perpetrating against myself, but I had a potential relationship thing in the works back in late 2010 and early 2011, and I kind of fucked that all up. I really messed things up in major ways that I'm still reeling from now. And what's even worse is I've cut myself off from that person. After all the shit that I did to her, after all the promises that I broke, and then the way that I was, and the way that I just fumbled the whole entire thing, I cut her off. I blocked her on Facebook. Every social media connection that we had, I shut it all down because I couldn't watch her be happy. I couldn't see those things in her life. I couldn't maintain a friendship with her because I knew I'd be hearing about, I met somebody and I'm in love and I'm happy, and all the while I would just be jealous and mad and upset at her, at myself, at the situation that I screwed up. It was all my fault that it ended up that way. And I just couldn't take a front row seat. I couldn't be the cheerleader. I couldn't be the good friend. I couldn't do it. And yet it's been like a year and a half since we've had any kind of contact, and I'm still hung up on her. And yet here I sit in a position where I finally feel like maybe I need to do something with my life. I need to get out there and try, but I'm still hung up on this one person. I still love her with all of my heart. How do I fit somebody else in there when all I think about is this other person? This other person who I don't even know if she thinks about me, or if she just fucking hates me at this point. Or I wouldn't even know if she wanted to try things again because I've cut her off in every way that's possible. I've really done a job on myself all these years, and all I want is just to be happy. And I have someone, actually a couple of different people who, have been friends over the years, who are kind of available in maybe a time in their lives where they would give this a shot. But of course I'm judging myself. Would they want anything to do with me? Who would I pick? Two different ladies in two different situations. Who would I choose? How do I choose? Because right now I'm a stubborn asshole. I don't want to play the game, as I call it. I don't want to date and go through all that and have feelings get involved for maybe one or the both of us, but it not work out. I don't want to go through all that. I don't remember the wording. I'm reading a Stephen King book right now, and it's a big cast of characters and whatnot, but there's a particular couple in there who are around the same age, I'm guessing, as me, and who are having a relationship with one another, and they keep saying things along the lines of, it's not too late to try, but I don't want to take too many risks. It's not worth taking big chances, something to that extent. And I kind of felt like I could relate. I don't know if right now I want to take a chance over and over again of dating this person and asking that person out and going through it all, if I can even summon up the courage to do it, since I've never personally, face-to-face with someone, asked someone out in my entire life. I had a relationship and was married to someone for years. I didn't ask her out. And it's not an important story, and it's not a story for this vlog of how that happened, but it's very, very hard for me to even take that chance. And I don't know how I would do it, and I don't know what I would say. And I'm so broke right now, I couldn't even take her out. I'd have to hope that maybe she would just enjoy sitting around and talking and visiting or whatever, as opposed to, hey, let's go out to the movies, or let's go do this or do that. I fucking hate date stuff. Like, oh, we've got to go to this club, or we've got to go do this or that. I don't think that makes for relationship foundation. I don't know. Fuck if I don't even know what I'm talking about. I've thought about all of this, sitting down here and doing this vlog and all that kind of stuff. I had absolutely no idea what I was going to say, how I was going to express myself in all of this. I was hoping maybe this would help, but I just feel so much more confused. I've got all that other stuff now back on my mind. I don't know. Just got so many problems, and so does everybody else. I'm not the only person. I'm sure as hell not the only person. Money problems, loneliness and depression and anxiety problems. I still haven't called the doctor that I want to go see, so I can have a doctor again, so I can get back on the medicine that I need, so I could go donate plasma again and supplement my income by a couple $100 every month. But I can't get over calling him on the phone and just dealing with somebody for a few minutes. I've put that off for a long time. I need to call my dad back tonight, and I'm putting that off. I should have called him at least yesterday, if not last week. He's going to want to know about stuff that has to do with him trying to help me fix my vehicle. which I'm running into speed bumps on that. But how do I express that to him? Because he'll just think that I'm putting it off. And then he'll give me shit and make me feel like shit for it. I don't know. All I want to do is just be happy and do the right thing. But I don't know sometimes if I still have the innate human natural instinct for survival. I have this feeling like I could just let shit get turned off, eventually get evicted, and be throwing a bunch of crap in my truck and just parking somewhere, and then just that'd be my life for a while. I don't know. Last week, I think, I had watched a vlog by a YouTuber named Necroscope, who I really enjoy for gameplay stuff, but I really watch his vlogs now more than anything else because he deals with a lot of shit and a lot of issues that I go through. And I kind of feel right now kind of like he looks sometimes in his videos like he doesn't know what to say, he doesn't know what the point was. And I feel him. I feel what he's going through because that's kind of what I feel like right now. I don't know what the point of this video was. I mean, I expressed myself. I got some stuff off of my chest. It's going to be a long video. It's going to be a long upload. It's going to be a long processing, and who knows how many people will watch it after all this babble about stuff. I just don't know, guys. I'm freaking lost and confused. I'm the ship without a captain. I'm the ship without a rudder. I'm the ship without a sail. I'm just kind of adrift, and I don't know what to do about it. I have a lot of really, really good friends, and I only get to see them when I'm at work. And I don't know that I'm the greatest company for any of them. And how do you ask people to take time away from their own lives just to hang out? Like, I don't want to chit-chat on the phone. I don't want to... When it comes to my closest friends, I like to sit down and talk to them. Despite what I said earlier in this vlog, this was stuff I needed to get out without interruption. But I really do like to sit down with my friends. But so many of my friends have obligations and things in their life. And once again, that just makes me feel like the odd man out. I don't have someone in my life. I'm not married. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't know when or if that's ever going to happen again. I have my daughter, but she's here a couple days of the week. It's not like there's a whole lot involved with that. She has a lot of activities and whatnot, or she does from time to time. I try to take part in as many of them as I can, but I mean, those things are still over in an hour or something, and then I'm right back here to my house to do nothing. The last few nights, I've had all night long to do whatever I wanted to. And last night and the night before, I'd say by 6 or 7 o'clock, I'm asleep over here on this couch, and I wake up at 12 or 1 in the morning. Then for an hour or so, I'll be on the computer or whatever, and then I go back to bed again. I get so much sleep, and yet I come home, and I'm zonked out on the couch within a few hours. I don't know if that's a medical condition, or if it's just literally my body just shuts down because there ain't shit for me to do. And to do something, and to get out there in the world and to try something, I'm so scared, I'm so fearful, and full of anxieties, and just worry and nonsense that I can't get out there and do what I want to do. And so many people will say, dude, you just got to get out there and do it. It's not that easy. But I think I'm starting to become sympathetic to that idea that this vlogging about it and telling people and listening to them say that, it's not the answer. It'll never be the answer to the problems. Maybe I gotta try. And I'm so, like I said, I'm so confused. How do I move forward and try to have someone in my life when I'm hung up on someone in some situation that's been over for years? How do I do that? You can't even imagine how I feel about this one person. If I were to say how I felt about this one person, and someone else that I tried to be involved with in my life even knew how I felt, how would they feel? You know, we're talking about human beings with feelings and thoughts and desires and wills of their own. How do you tell somebody, I feel like this person, I'm just saying this now because the other video I wanted to do, I don't know if it'll ever come together. But how do I tell someone out there that I'm interested in dating that this other person from way in the past and in involvement just a couple years ago, that I consider that person to be my soulmate, that I consider that person to be the one true person I'm supposed to be with, and because I screwed things up, not because fate says we're not supposed to be together, but because I blame myself for us not working, because I didn't do what I was supposed to do, how do I then pick up the pieces of my own self and say, I'll take you now. I'll give it a shot with you. This is crude and probably way out of left field, but I remember a Marilyn Manson song from years ago, and in the song he sings, "I'm not in love, but I'm gonna fuck you until something better comes along." That's kind of the frame of mind I feel like right now when I think about these other ladies who are friends and they're in my town and they're close and they're convenient and all that. And yet I still have feelings for this other person in something that's probably never, ever, ever going to happen. Like, I'm a person who feels like, well, as I said before, I don't want to play the game. I don't want to do the dating game. I just want to find the right person and have a relationship that will last hopefully forever. I don't want to bounce from person to person. I'm not looking for that kind of a thing. In a way, that whatever train of thought that was just went off the track and then some. I don't know. I guess I'm just expecting too much. I'm expecting too much. I expect to just find another person and that be the one. And that was my attitude going into my marriage was, oh, this person is interested in me. She actually knows that I exist. All right, well, then that's it. That's, I found the person I'm going to be with for the rest of my life. And it ended up being 10 years, but it shouldn't have been that long because she wasn't the one. I didn't even take time to really get to know who she was. And not any fault of her own, but I don't really think she ever got to really know who I was. And you just can't have a relationship between two people if they don't learn who each other is and decide if that's who the person that they're looking for, that person is who they want to be with for the rest of their lives. And you have to be able to make that decision and then say, okay, sorry, but that's, it's not going to work. This is not meant to be. I was too afraid of being alone, so I just went all the way with it and had a relationship that became a marriage, became a family with a daughter, and then eventually, finally, I realized that I wasn't happy and I wasn't with who I was supposed to be with. I wasn't in the place in my life where I should have been, and I got out of it. And now I'm so afraid of making the same mistake because I don't want to be alone, and I don't want to get involved with somebody and have hearts get broken, have feelings get hurt, even if that's the way that it's supposed to be. I don't want to do it because of my anxieties and stuff. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure where this is going at this point. It didn't go through all the subjects that I had thought I would be talking about, but I can't really think about what else I wanted to touch on at this point. I guess this is what sit down and make a vlog looks like. Sit down and just start talking. Well, if you stuck through all of this, thank you. I'm sorry for unloading all of this stuff on here, but it's just shit that's going on in my life, and I'm wishing for a lot of stuff, and wishing doesn't get things done. Wishing doesn't live your life. You can't spend your entire life wishing for things. You have to make them happen. The problem is I don't know how to get over the things that hold me back from making things happen. So, once again, thank you if you watched this. If you didn't, you're not going to hear me say this, but I don't blame you for not sticking around and listening to this guy ramble on about stuff. I'm going to go. Thank God I didn't get any kind of interruptions on this, because it'll help me to sit down and actually make this thing go up. Alright, well, whatever. Thanks for watching if you stuck with this.